Hey everyone, it's Mari for Honeybee Stamps. I'm going to be creating this autumn themed slimline card for you today using the Lovely Layers Maple Leaf die set. This is just such a gorgeous honey cut set. I love it so much. And this set creates the more detailed leaf that you can see on the top there with that die, and then a solid leaf with that bottom die there. So really, really fun. Lots of ways that you could use this coordinating die set. I've cut out a bunch of these different pieces from some white cardstock, and I'm ready to do a little bit of mixed media to create some really fun looking leaves for my project. Now I really wanted to use the new Distress Mica stains. These are really, really fun sprays. These are the colors from the collection. They're just really, really shimmery and shiny, and I am also going to be using the Simon Hurley and Ranger craft foam. And what you can do with this is heat it up and then put it onto whatever it is that you want to create an impression of, and in this case it's that leaf die. So I just made that impression of the leaf on that stamping foam, and now you can just see here I'm going to stamp that out onto some white cardstock. This is Wild Honey Distress Oxide ink, and I'm stamping up that stamping foam, and now I'm just going to press that onto my white cardstock here and make this really fun leaf print. So I'm going to do that with 3 different colors of oxide ink. I'm going to also use ripe persimmon and peeled paint, and I'm going to create my own patterned paper for my card background today. So here you can just see I've cleaned the stamping foam off with a baby wipe and stamped on that peeled paint onto the stamping foam, and now I'm making an impression with that green ink, and I will do exactly the same thing with the ripe persimmon. Now with this ripe persimmon, I wanted to show you can also add some water to the stamping foam to your ink, and it just kind of creates more of almost like a watercolor look to your stamped image. So it's just kind of like whatever you want to do with it. It's so much fun to experiment with and play with, and I will be sure to link to this stamping foam in the description box below. So I'm just going to try to even out where all the colors are on my paper, and now I'm ready to die cut this out for my card front. This is the Slimline Sentiment Stitched Honey Cuts die. This die includes a bunch of different sentiment dies as well. I'm just going to use the stitched panel here for my card front, and that's just going to create a really nice slimline card front out of that beautiful patterned paper that I created. Now my green card base is some Gina K Jelly Bean green cardstock. I cut a piece 7.5 inches by 8.75 and then scored it on the 7.5 side to 3.75 for a slimline card base. So essentially, my card is now 3.75 by 8.75 for that green card base. Now I have the leaves. I'm going to put the leaves into my splat box. I've splattered the green one already. I just used my honeybee tweezers to take the green out and the yellow and now the orange. These colors are the yellow is Flickering Candle, the orange is Jack-o'-lantern, the brown is Crooked Broomstick, and the green is Bubbling Cauldron. And I just love that brown color as my base color, so I used that Crooked Broomstick for the base for each of the 3 leaves, that solid leaf, and then the other 3, the detailed layer, I used in those really pretty colorful micas. So here you can just see I'm going to glue the detailed portion of the leaf onto the solid base using my Honeybee Stamps precision glue tube, and I'm just using my honeybee tweezers there to help me manipulate all of these different little parts. Now I'm going to use some foam adhesive to adhere these onto my stitched slimline card front here that I cut with that honey cut die. And this is just going to create some nice dimension on that pattern paper that I made with that stamping foam, using these leaves in a dimensional way there to embellish the front of my card. And I just love how these look. They're so shimmery and shiny and pretty. And I'm just going to kind of put them a little bit offset, trying to make them look interesting in that way, just sort of like they're falling leaves in the fall from a tree. And That's sort of the idea I was going for anyways. Now I have taken some of that bubbling cauldron mist, the mica stain, and I've just poured a little bit of it out onto my table, and I'm using my fan brush to just splatter across my panel. I actually used the extra mica stain. I picked it up with a piece of cardstock so that I didn't waste it. And now I'm doing the same thing with some gold mist from my stash, and that just leaves a really pretty gold bit of dimensional splatter on my card as well. Now I'm going to use the Miss You Big Time sentiment set. I'm going to use the thank you sentiment from that set, and I'm going to do some heat embossing here. I've inked my thank you sentiment up with some Versamark ink, and now I'm going to use some gold embossing powder here to emboss my image. So that embossing powder is going to stick to that Versamark ink, and then I will take the coordinating die from the coordinating Miss You Big Time die set, and I will die cut that out. I will, of course, melt my embossing powder first and get that all melted with my embossing gun, my heat gun. And now I will go ahead and die cut out that sentiment. Now I have added my card front panel to that card base, and I've done that with some foam adhesive, and just so it's really nice and dimensional as well. I'm going to pop my sentiment up on a little bit of foam adhesive also, and just using my tweezers there, I will place that onto my card front and get my sentiment all placed there. And I love that. I love how that looks. I think it's super pretty. I did want to finish off my card with a little bit of extra bling, and I'm going to be using the Farm Fresh Holiday Gem stickers. These are just a really nice little gold bling for my card, and I'm just using my craft pick to help me place those. I love the gem stickers from Honeybee Stamps. They come in 100 different colors, probably even more than that, and they have all the sticky on the back that you need, and they are so easy to place onto your card. I love how this card turned out. I think it's super pretty. I have linked up to the products I've used in this project today in the description box below. Make sure that you check out Honeybee Stamps on Facebook and Instagram and all of the places. Have an amazing day, my friends. I hope to see you another time. Bye-bye.